The following is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Blackmore. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by Bell Tire. Well, some morning showers have given way to plenty of sunshine here at the ballpark. Day baseball at Comerica. First place on the line as we welcome you to downtown Detroit. The third and final game in this series featuring the visiting Cleveland Indians and your Detroit Tigers. Hi again, everyone. Welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba, glad to have you with us this afternoon for the series finale here. Rod Allen joins us in a moment. Well, the Tigers wrapping up this homestand, hoping to jump back into first place by themselves. Interleague play kicks off beginning tomorrow again, all in National League parks. It'll be a challenge for Jim Leland again to get both Victor Martinez and Alex Avila in the lineup with no DH the next 6 days, but no such problem today, and that's a good thing because both Avila and Martinez have been absolutely on fire on this homestand. Victor batting .423 with 6 RBIs. Avila batting .429 with 6 RBIs. Avila today will be the DH, and Victor Martinez will spell him behind the plate, and he will do the catching. Tigers, Indians, lineups, first pitch coming up in just a moment. But first we go back to the Call Sam studio. Here's Ryan Field. As you can see, it's an absolutely gorgeous day here in the Motor City. Tigers and the Indians wrapping up this 3-game series in a virtual tie for first place in the Central. We'll see who comes out on top here today. If the Tigers combine for 3 or more home runs in this game, bring a copy of the box score to a participating Arby's location tomorrow, and you'll get yourself a free small order of curly fries. Brady Sizemore is back in the lineup today for the Cleveland Indians. Here is the rest of the lineup for the Indians, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Sizemore is the DH in this one today. Then Santana and Brantley in center. Cabrera cleaning up Asdrubal, that is. Shin-Soo Choo is in right. Matt Laporta is at first base. Travis Buck, Cord Phelps, the rookie, and Adam Everett, the veteran, rounding out the lineup for Manny Acta. Here is the scouting report on Max Scherzer, presented by Scott's Lawn Pro.
Well, fastball command will be key for Max in the game tonight. He had good fastball command last time out, and he was pretty good. When he's not able to do so, it's because his delivery is not clean, and he's not able to repeat it. And he needs to do a little bit better against the Cleveland Indians. In his 4 career starts, they have beaten him 3 times.
So we are ready for baseball here this afternoon. Each team with 1 victory so far in this series. Sizemore, the DH, stands in, and the first pitch of the ball game is a strike called on Brady. Glad to have you with us here this afternoon. Tigers wrap up this homestand, then it's on the way out west to take on Colorado and LA. The 0-1. Hit high in the air, right center field, fairly deep. Jackson and Maglio converge, and it's Jackson with the catch.
Let's take a look at the Tigers defensively. It's presented by Beaumont Health System. You know, Jackson's in center field. Bosch is in left. Ordonez back out in right. Kelly, Peralta, Rayburn, Cabrera. That's the infield. Victor Martinez getting the start behind the plate this afternoon, with Avila being the designated hitter.
Here is Carlos Santana batting in the 2 slot these days for the Indians. Switch hitter takes the ball high and away. Santana, a couple of hits in the series. He has also walked and has been hit by a pitch. Wave and a miss. 1 ball, 1 strike.
He has walked 44 times this year, and that's the main reason why he's batting second. Batting average not very high, but Manny Acta wanted to take advantage of the fact that he will take a walk and will get on base, and hopefully sets the stage for Brantley and Cabrera, 2 of their most consistent hitters all season.
He has walked exactly as many times as he has fanned. The 1-1. Another big swing, 1 and 2 on Santana. Suffice to say, when he was called up last year, he hit .345 the first month that he was called up, but since has not really lived up to those numbers, and coming into play today batting just .221.
All about adjustments. He has not made the adjustments that the league had made to him.
Santana has 7 home runs. 2-2 the count on the number 2 hitter for Cleveland. And he skies this one toward left center. Bosch calling for it, and a couple of fly ball outs to start this one. 2 gone. That'll bring up the center fielder Michael Brantley. Brantley hitting .278. He's hitless in this series. No hits and 8 at bats. Scherzer in search of that 1-2-3 first inning. Ball 1 missing outside to Brantley. Here's the 1-0 pitch. And that's in there for a strike. Up with the right hand goes DJ Rayburn, your home plate umpire today. Scherzer gave up just 1 run in 7 innings, beating Seattle his last time out. 2-1 the count. And that was much needed because Scherzer had given up 5, 7, and 7 in his previous 3 starts. Here's the 2-1. 2-2 on Brantley.
It looks like the game plan today, at least so far, by Martinez, is to make Scherzer establish his fastball. Several of the 11 pitches that he has already thrown in this game have been all heaters. And here comes another one.
It's a 2-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Check that. That was a changeup. Even though he pretty much has worked out of the zone to Brantley, He still has 2 strikes on him.
That'll get back out of play. 3-2 the count remains. Scherzer lifetime 1-3 with an ERA of almost 6 against these Indians. There's Drupal Cabrera waiting on deck. That's pulled down the right field line, foul. 3-2 the count remains on Michael Brantley. Scherzer has done some of his best work at home, 4-1 with a 3.2 earned run average at Comerica this year. Here comes the 8th pitch in this at bat. And it's grounded to first, right by a diving Cabrera. To the corner it goes. His extra base is for Michael Brantley. He's going to hit the bag at second and try for 3. Rayburn's relayed at third base, not in time. It gets by Kelly and into the seats it goes, and that means Brantley will score.
You got to be kidding me.
How about that for some bad luck? Scherzer got back there to back up, but he couldn't stop it. A triple and an error, and the Indians get a run.
And by the time Maglio Ordonez runs this ball down in the right field corner, Brantley headed toward third base. Maglio gets the ball to Rayburn, but he short hopped Kelly. Kelly tried to come and get it, but not able to pick it, and therefore the ball into the stands, and they get a gift run here early in the game.
Triple E4 allows the run to score. 1-0 Cleveland. A gift run indeed. And now Martinez calling time, walking out to the mound. Rayburn charged with the air on the throw on the relay.
Let's take one more look at it. Maglio gets over there. He gets the ball and gets the ball in, but really nothing you can do if you're Don Kelly. He tried to do the best he could to get it. Scherzer tried to get there, but unable to get there in time.
Cabrera showing bunt. As Drupal in the series, just 1 for 8.
You don't usually see your number 4 hitters attempting to bunt for base hits, but Cabrera's only batting 4th because big Travis Hafner's not playing right now, and no one else has really stepped up to take over that position in the batting order for Manny Acta. I think Drupal probably better served as number 2 hitter, maybe number 3 hitter.
Here's the 0-2. Hafner was on a rehab last night. He is suffering from an oblique problem. They say he probably will play down in the minor leagues 3 rehab games, so he's got a couple more to go before he rejoins the Indians. Driven high in the air to right center field. This looks like trouble. That one finds the gap, and to the warning track it goes. Cabrera will saunter into second base with a 2-out double. So the Indians come out swinging the bats here today.
He has probably been their best hitter from the beginning of the season up until this point. He's an all-star, and he's been getting it done on both sides of the ball. That would be their shortstop, Drupal Cabrera.
1-0 in favor of the Indians. They have a man at second base now for Shin-Soo Choo. Couple of hits in the series for Choo. And he showed signs last night of breaking out of it a little bit. They certainly desperately need his bat. 2 singles, a walk. He scored 3 times.
He got better counts to hit in last night. That's the difference in the game that he had. Every time that he was up, he was in real good fastball counts, just like right now.
Whoa. 6 for 10 against Mr. Scherzer with a home run.
Max has fallen behind him 2 balls, no strikes. Even though it's the first inning, he's got a base open. You don't have to give in to Choo here, not with Laporta in the on deck circle. Be smart about it.
Two and one on Choo. Well, the Indians this year, a good portion of their success early was the fact they were getting some key hits. 272 with men in scoring position this year, which is 3rd best in the American League. And the 2-1. Driven again to the gap in right center field. That's going to be trouble, and that one goes off the wall. Another extra base hit. Chu is on his way to third, and this time the relay is held up by Rayburn. It's a triple and an RBI for Shin-Soo Choo.
Tigers pitching have gotten Chu hot the last couple of days. He's sitting in a 2-1 count, and Scherzer tried to sneak a fastball right by him. It was belt buckle high, and he absolutely crushed it. That ball almost got out of here.
Indians are playing pepper with the gap in right field.
Makes a big difference when you get good pitches to hit. And Chu has done that the last couple of days.
You don't normally see balls hit that wall out there in right center field. Most triples will roll out there.
Not on the line anyway. That was on the line.
So they'll try and get Chu in now. It's 2-0 after Scherzer retired the first two batters.
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, Chu really shouldn't have gotten a good pitch to hit with a base open and 2 outs.
Agreed.
I know Laporta got a couple of hits in last night's game, but Scherzer absolutely dominates right-handed batters, and he has done that throughout his career.
So what seemingly looked like it was going to be a quick inning for Max has turned into a 25-pitch first inning right now. 1 ball, 1 strike on Matt Laporta. Couple of RBIs in the series for Laporta. 2-1. Indians at 36-30. The Tigers at 37-31. And so while the two teams are tied for first place, just a percentage point separates Cleveland and Detroit. 2-2. Chicago playing in Minnesota, suddenly resurgent Minnesota. They're going to get Joe Mauer back tomorrow. Nishioka, their second baseman, is back as well from an injury. Here's the 2-2. Laporta wasted that one, back out of play.
A lot of pitches already thrown by Max here in the first inning. 28 total.
Well, the Tigers had to go to the bullpen early last night. Furbush came on in the 4th inning in place of Brad Penny. That's popped up. First base side, foul ground, Cabrera to end the inning. Big inning though for the Indians. They get a pair on 3 hits. Well, some work to do now for the Tigers. Indians off to a 2-0 lead. Austin Jackson will be leading things off for the Tigers. Here is the starting lineup for Detroit, presented by Big Boy. Jackson, Kelly, Bosch at the top. Cabrera cleaning up. Victor, then Maglio, and your bottom 3 is Sevilla, Peralta, and Ryan Rayburn. The Bernstein advantage Brings you the scouting report today on Mitch Talbot of the Indians. Get the Bernstein advantage. We go to bat for you.
Watching some film on Talbot before the game, he appears to be a guy that's not going to overpower you. However, he does have all 4 pitches with good movement on all 4 pitches, and he changes speeds very well. He's also spent some time on the disabled list this year with a right elbow strain.
So Talbot facing Jackson, who is 2 for 8 in this series for Detroit. Austin takes ball 1 outside, 1-1.
Everything Mitch was featuring was the 2-seam fastball running in, little cutters running away from the right-handers, little breaking ball, slider, and a changeup. Real slow, deliberate delivery as well by Talbot. Kind of lulls you to sleep.
Talbot's been with a few different organizations in his career. Broke in with the Astros, traded to Tampa, then from Tampa to Cleveland. And he's fallen behind here 3-1.
Austin should get a really good fastball to hit here.
And he missed with it, ball 4.
Let's take a look at the Cleveland Indians defensive alignment here today. It's presented by Tim Hortons. Buck, Brantley, Chu in the outfield. In right field, Chu has one of your better throwing arms from that position. Carlos Santana, and he is the catcher. Cord Phelps getting a look at him at second base for the first time in this series as well.
The Indians about middle of the pack defensively this year. Here's Don Kelly. Kelly again is playing third base today and batting in the 2 slot. Kelly has taken most of the reps. In fact, he has started 11 of the 14 at third with Inge out of the lineup. Here's the 1-0. Brandon, by the way, it was revealed before the game, will be heading to Toledo. He will play this entire upcoming road trip for the Tigers down in Toledo, or for the Mud Hens. So the Tigers will be without him for the West Coast swing, and the hope is that he can return back to Jim Leyland's lineup when the Tigers come back home. Jackson draws the throw. Austin this year with an even 10 steals.
This is where you like to have a left-handed hitter batting second when you have a guy that gets on that has speed like Jackson. Somebody that has the ability to pull the baseball between first and second, which would get Jackson, of course, to third.
2-1. Kelly batting .238, 1 hit in this series in 9 at bats. Had a sacrifice in last night's ball game.
Jackson's leaning over at first base, entertaining the thought of running. I don't know if it will be a straight steal or a hit and run, but it looked like Jackson was getting ready to take off toward second base.
Caught just 2 times this year. And the runner goes on 2-1. Here comes the throw from Santana. Late. It was on the money, and it looked like Cabrera got spiked.
Well, not only was he entertaining the thought of going, he was going, and he got a really good jump. One peek in to see what was going on at home plate, and another outstanding throw by Santana. He's got a very strong throwing arm, but one of the things I've noticed about Santana the last couple of days is he takes a long time to get rid of the baseball, and that gives the base runner a couple of extra steps. But there is no question he's got a really strong arm.
Well, I recall last year when he first came up, that's all they talked about, the cannon that he possessed.
Jackson just might steal 40 bases this year. With the offense perking up and him getting on base a little bit more often.
That'll get back out of play. Well, the one he had was here was his 11th.
Take one more look at the throw here, and it takes him a little bit of time. I mean, his feet just aren't as quick as, let's say, Avila or Pudge Rodriguez, who we used to watch for a number of years here. Very strong arm, but the footwork not necessarily there yet, but he's still a very young catcher. He didn't come up as a catcher.
Third baseman in the Dodgers organization. Meanwhile, it's 3-2 on Kelly, trying to get a run back here for the Tigers. Nobody out. And now Talbot and Santana will talk things over. Talbot is 27 years old, out of Cedar City, Utah.
Cedar City.
That's where Southern Utah University is.
Been through there a few times.
The 3-2. Looped in the air, shallow left, looks like trouble, and it's a fair ball. Base hit. Here comes Jackson. He'll score. Down Kelly with a looping single to left. And it didn't take long for the Tigers to get a run back.
Good base running instincts here by Austin Jackson. I mean, take a look at him. Good secondary lead. Now he's kind of reading the play. And then he recognizes that no one's going to get there, and he's able to score rather easily. But really good instincts at following the play, knowing where the left fielder was, and then knowing the shortstop nor third baseman were going to be able to make that play.
Ball one to Brendan Bosch. A couple of hits in the series for Bosch, including a home run.
And Brendan Bosch has been on fire in the month of May. Power numbers starting to increase. Batting average is creeping back up toward 300.
Bosch homered in the first inning of last night's game as the Tigers put up a 3 spot on Fausto Carmona. And it looked like they were off and running. Carmona was able to gut through 5 innings, and he turned it over to the bullpen, which was absolutely outstanding last night for Cleveland.
Talbot's going to get himself in some trouble here today if he continues to fall behind these Tigers hitters.
Bosch rips one to center, base hit. Kelly goes to second base, and the Tigers have another base hit. 3 straight have reached here in the bottom of the first inning. The 2-0 pitch that he slammed to center field. Now Cabrera. A very offensive start to this one. 3 runs on 5 hits already. We're now through the first. Still nobody out for Detroit. Cabrera at 315 right now. But it's the numbers with men on base that are really impressive. 429. And again, Talbot calling his catcher out.
It's a good sign there as well by the shortstop, Asdrubal Cabrera. Just 25 years old, but showing some leadership skills. Captain in the infield. Is Asdrubal from Venezuela? Do you know?
You know what? I'm going to have to check that. I think he is.
The only reason why I say that is because he wears number 13.
That ball is hammered to left, a base hit. Kelly will stop at third base, and the Tigers now going station to station here as they crawl back into this game.
Well, we know that Cabrera is from Venezuela, and he's one of the best hitters to ever come out of Venezuela. Talbot making a lot of mistakes up in the strike zone. Good 2-seam fastball running in on Cabby, and Cabby able to get the barrel on the baseball and drove the ball to left, but hit it too hard for Kelly to score. And the reason why I say 13, obviously, Davey Concepcion hails from Venezuela. He wore number 13, as did Ozzie Guillen, Omar Vizquel. A lot of the middle infielders that come from Venezuela, they like to wear that number.
And it is confirmed he is from Venezuela. Asdrubal. So they're loaded up now. Here comes Victor Martinez. Well, what an opportunity here for Victor. Base is loaded, nobody out. Talbot will throw from the windup. And he missed inside, 1-0.
Talbot got kicked out of his last start in New York. He hit Alex Rodriguez with a pitch in the leg and was kicked out because both benches had already been warned. So it was a rather short outing for Talbot.
They had a lot of fireworks in that series. The night before, Carmona hit Mark Teixeira. Now the 1-0 pitch. Tapped foul. 1 ball, 1 strike on Victor. 6-game hitting streak right now for Martinez. Victor right now with his .322 average has climbed to 4th in the American League. And after giving up 2 in the top of the first, the Tigers in really good shape here to claim the lead. Here's the 1-1. 1-2 on Martinez.
Told you yesterday that Victor is not afraid to hit in these types of situations, although you don't want to make a habit of doing so. .323 with 2 strikes, and the league average is .177. I thought it'd be a little bit higher than that, the league average.
Yeah, 177 is awfully low. The 1-2. The Martinez's average is awfully high.
He told me yesterday that there are times where he actually prefers to hit with 2 strikes. That's unheard of. But he said his concentration level goes way up. He says sometimes when he's hitting in 2-0 counts, 2-1 counts, 3-1 counts, he says his swing's too big and he tries to do too much. But in this situation, he just kind of relaxes, and he says he just tries to play pepper with the baseball, just tries to put it in play.
He has his wish here. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And he drives one to right field, straight at Chu. He's got a good arm. He'll line it up. He's going to fire it home. Here's the throw to the plate. Not in time. Kelly scores, and the Tigers have tied it up.
He probably has the second best arm in right field in our league. I think Frank Core in Kansas City has a better throwing arm, a stronger arm than Chu, but anytime that the ball is in this guy's glove and you're tagging up from any base, you better get on your horse.
A little bit up that first base line, give an RBI to Martinez, his 37th, to tie it at 2.
Nelson Cruz in Texas also has a really strong throwing arm from right field.
I think you're right, though. I would probably go with Frank Core, number 1. Maybe in the game.
He's got a hose.
Maglio Ordonez, the batter. Scherzer threw 29 pitches in the top of the first, and Talbot now has thrown 21. He has struggled. There's a line drive caught by the shortstop behind the back flip for the double play. How about that circus move by Asdrubal Cabrera? Tigers, however, tie it up, and they lead 1.
You've heard me say on many occasions on our air that when the ball's hit on the line, less than 2 outs, excuse me, if you're on the base paths, you have to get back. You can't take 1 or 2 steps toward that next base. If you do, you're probably going to get doubled off. How about Asdrubal? Are you kidding me?
I read a quote the other day where Joe Madden said that Asdrubal Cabrera reminds him a little bit of Vizquel.
Really?
And that play was a Vizquel-esque play, wasn't it?
Yeah, he didn't have to do that, but it's all good. As long as you don't throw it away.
Buck hits a line drive to center, caught by Austin Jackson, 1 gone. So Scherzer has seen his teammates now get him back even. 2-2 is our score as we play in the second, and Cord Phelps digs in.
That's pretty high praise coming from Mr. Joe Madden for Cabrera.
He said, let's not get confused here. I don't believe he's as good as Vizquel is, but he does see some similarities in their game, especially defensively. He also talked about Robbie Alomar and his game as well, some similarities in that respect. So 2 really, really good players.
Robbie Alomar, one of the best second basemen that I've ever watched play. Ever.
I'm not sure I can think of a better one in his era and that I've seen live. I think Alomar is right at the top of that list.
And he will get his plaque in Cooperstown shortly, along with Bert Blyleven and Pat Gillick, I believe, going in.
Correct. Getting our first look at the rookie Cord Phelps, who has started 1 for 14 in his major league career. Bouncing ball right side. Rayburn scoops it up, and Phelps is out, 2 gone. That'll bring up former Tiger Adam Everett. Adam playing third base in this one. Hanahan played in the first 2 games. Adam, of course, last year was released by the Tigers about midway through in the month of June and was invited to spring camp this year by the Indians. He gives them a veteran presence and has been through the wars. He's played in the postseason. Adam was a well-liked guy when he played here in Detroit. A 1-1 swing and a miss. 1-2 on Everett. Each team 2 runs on 3 hits on a warm afternoon here in the Motor City. The temperature climbing. It is now 72 degrees. That's pulled foul.
This is the same type of weather that we will get when we go out to Colorado. No humidity, few clouds, 75, 80 degrees.
What do you think? We'll get a couple of 2-1 and a 1-0 ball game there in Colorado?
No. Maybe on Sunday. That's Verlander's day.
Oh, that's true. You've got to factor that in.
Yeah. Maybe on Sunday. No disrespect to any of the other guys.
Grounded foul.
But he is just pitching like he is the best pitcher in baseball right now.
Well, we know this for a fact. A lot of runs are scored at Coors Field. We've had a chance to do games there over the years through interleague play.
I think it's changed a little bit with that humidor now that they have there. Don't know a whole lot about it, but they put the baseballs in there, and the runs aren't scored as frequently as they used to be.
Scherzer, meanwhile, has his first strikeout. 2-2 score as we go to the bottom of the second in the series finale here. Each team with a victory. The Tigers won the opener behind the dominant effort of Justin Verlander, who had a no-hitter into the eighth. And then the Indians bounced back with a 6-4 win last night. Here comes one of the hotter Tigers. Alex Avila has his average up to .304. Avila leads it off, followed by Peralta and then Ryan Rayburn. 7, 8, and 9 in Jim Leyland's lineup today. Talbot's problem in the first inning was falling behind just about everybody he faced. He was fortunate to get that line drive double play off the bat of Ordonez, who continues to be snake bitten by some bad luck. He's hit some really hard hit balls in this series. Here's the 1-0 to Avila. 1 ball, 1 strike. Alex in the latest numbers in the All-Star voting, climbing to 2 in the voting, behind Russell Martin and ahead of Joe Mauer of the Minnesota Twins. The 1-1. Avila pops one up, shallow left field, going to be a tough play, base hit. And you're going good, you're going good. Leadoff single here in the second. Tigers have another hit on the board, their 4th of the game. Well, here you have it for the catchers, the All-Star votes. The leader is Russell Martin, then Avila, then Mauer, then Saltalamacchia. Time to get out and stuff the box.
Well, Alex may not start, but he will go to Arizona and represent the Old English D in the American League.
Here's Johnny Peralta. Ball 1 to Johnny.
Don't you think?
Oh, there's no doubt. I think he's a shoo-in. I think Verlander is a shoo-in. Where it becomes tricky, and we talked about Cabrera because of all the good first basemen in the league. Where it becomes tricky for managers is making sure that A, everybody is represented. B, you want to take care of your own players, which in this case it'll be Ron Washington, who managed the American League in the World Series last year. It's just really tough. I remember Leland talking about how difficult it was in '07 to formulate that roster and keep everybody happy.
I'm biased, but Cabrera is a bona fide superstar, one of the best players in this game, and he should be at the All-Star game as well.
Yeah, I think the only guy right now ahead of him is Gonzalez, Adrian Gonzalez, who deserves to be there.
There's some other good first basemen. There's no debate about that, but he's one of the top 2-3 players, impact players in the entire game.
One ball, 1 strike on Johnny Peralta, who also can make a good argument to go.
I think the thing that hurts Cabrera is the fact that he's made a couple of mistakes off the field, and that kind of cost him on the field, which is not fair, but that's the environment we live in.
Well, I also feel that Teixeira is going to get his votes because he's a Yankee. I mean, that's pretty simple. That's been proven over the years, but you can't look at Adrian Gonzalez's numbers and not agree that he should be the top vote getter.
He's a good player, no doubt about that.
One ball, 1 strike.
But if I was starting a team tomorrow, I wouldn't take him over Cabrera.
No, but that's not the, I guess, the spirit of the voting. I mean, it's who is the best player this year to represent your team. I mean, long term, there's no doubt that guy right there is a franchise type player.
Well, if Cabrera was playing in Boston, the numbers probably would be the other way around. Gonzalez would probably have those votes, and Cabrera would probably be where Adrian Gonzalez is.
2-2 on Johnny Peralta. Mitch Talbot had a rocky first inning, helped out by the line drive double play. He's given up a leadoff single to Avila here in the second. Missed it inside. Now it's 3-2.
And decision time for Jim here very early in the game. 3-2, nobody out. Does he start the runner to stay out of the double play? Or does he play it safe?
Rayburn waiting on deck. He's starting the runner. In the air on a line to right field. Chu gets over there. He's going to spin and fire it back to first, but Avila able to get back in.
It's a nice job by Avila, taking a few steps, knowing that the ball was put in play to right field, so he got and stopped in his tracks and was able to get back. You have to know where the baseball is when you're running. He knows exactly where it was hit, therefore he's able to get back to first base.
First out of the inning, that'll bring up Ryan Rayburn, the number 9 hitter for the Tigers. Rayburn 1 for 3 in the series. Talbot missing inside. Talbot was acquired from the Tampa Bay Rays. Kelly Shoppick went the other way. Won 10 games as a rookie last year. Tapped foul at home plate. 1 ball, 1 strike. As you look at the numbers last year for Mitch Talbot, his rookie season, early on he was in the Rookie of the Year talk. I mean, really early in the season. He started 7-4, but he just couldn't finish. He struggled down the stretch. And of course, Jackson and Neftali Feliz took over all of that talk in the American League for Rookie of the Year. The 1-1. 2 balls and 1 strike. Runner goes. Popped up. Shallow right. Chu on the charge. And there are 2 gone. So Avila stays planted at first base. That'll bring up Austin Jackson. Jackson had a walk, stole a base, and scored back in the first inning. The Tigers trailed 2-0, but even things up with a 2-run first. Ball 1. Scherzer gave up the 2 early runs and then shut him down in the second. Max in search of his 9th win of the season. Swing and a miss. 1-2 on Jackson. That'll go foul. 1-2. The count stays on Austin. Steadily now is continuing his climb in the average column. 254. He's had 5 triples this year, which is the 2nd highest total in the American League. It took him a while to get going this season, but he's starting to click. And because of that, the offense is as well. Even through his struggles, though, Jackson was still turning in terrific defense in center field.
And his attitude really didn't change when he got off to a slow start. You never saw Austin walking around with his head down. Wasn't feeling sorry for himself. I think Austin knew by the numbers that he put up last year that sooner or later things would turn. And they did turn for him in the month of May and so far in June.
356 here in June. Talbot trying to finish him off. High fly ball, center field. Michael Brantley cruising over. That'll end the inning. Tigers going to lead off hit, strand man, 2 in the books. Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. By Chrysler. And by Arby's. Stop by today and try the new Shroom and Swiss sandwich. Arby's, it's good mood food. From Old Tiger Stadium, we swing across to Comerica Park here in downtown Detroit. The Cleveland Indians and Tigers wrapping up this series. 2-2 is our score as we go to the top of the third. That shot we had there of Old Tiger Stadium, how about that? The only thing remaining really the infield dirt and the flag that was out in center field. Now to the new digs here at Comerica. Ball one on Grady Sizemore.
What a great atmosphere it was to play in that ballpark. And I know you had a lot of fun going there and watching some games.
Oh, absolutely. I had fun watching, but it must have been something to actually play on that field.
It was incredible. Some of the greatest fans in the country.
Did you have a feeling as a player there that the fans were right on top of you and that it was an intimate place?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
The 1-1. Wave and a miss.
I mean, sitting in the dugout, that's one of those places where you can kind of, you can feel the place shaking.
Right.
When the crowd was pumped up.
If there was room in the dugout, because those dugouts were awfully small.
They were small. Very small. Very intimate. You got to know your teammates very well.
Wave and a miss, and Sizemore is history. One away. A strikeout for Scherzer, his second. We go to the studio. Game break time. Here's Ryan Field. While the Twins continue to have the White Sox number. They're beating them again today.
I wonder what the Twins are going to do with Kadire. His name kept getting mentioned by lots of experts across the country as to one that may have been traded around the trade deadline this year.
The thing I like about Kadire, if you're a team looking to acquire him, is that he is a very versatile guy that can hit with power, but he can play outfield. He can play second, he can play third.
He's a good teammate, too.
Rayburn backhands it. And Santana is out, 2 gone.
Well, 3 weeks ago, Minnesota was 15.5 out, but the Tigers were also 7 out. So as Detroit has gotten hot, so has Minnesota. And now, with Cleveland struggles, and this is a race again.
It is indeed.
With a lot of baseball to be played.
Here's Michael Brantley. Tripled and scored in the first inning. Scherzer in that first inning gave up 2 triples and a double, but since then has retired 6 in a row. Max getting it straightened out. His teammates in the meantime got him 2 runs to tie it up. 1-1 on Brantley. Make it 2 balls, 1 strike. And now 3-1. Told you that Michael's dad Mickey played in the big leagues, and Michael says he talks to his dad after every single game, and they'll dissect his at bats or just talk about the game in general. 3-1 is popped up down the left field line. Bosch coming over into foul ground. Can't quite get there.
Dads always have a way of saying the right things when it comes to baseball, especially if you have a dad like Mickey Brantley that played the game himself and was a major league hitting coach as well in the big leagues. I know Chipper Jones was talking about his dad just a few days ago. I forget where they were, but wherever Chipper's dad lives, I believe it was Florida. He said every time he goes there, his dad just kind of gets him right back on track because he knows his swing better than anybody else.
Well, for Michael, a built-in batting coach and his dad Mickey. That's popped up. This will stay in play down the middle of the infield to short center. Peralta hauls it in, and a 1-2-3 inning for Max Scherzer. Nicely done. Tigers 2, Indians 2 as we go to the bottom of the third. Don Kelly starting things off against Mitch Talbot. Kelly had an RBI single in the Tigers 2-run first inning. Don now has knocked in 8 on the season. Here's the 1-0. Fly ball center field. Brantley cruising over. 1 up and 1 away for the Tigers here in the third. By the way, you can vote for your Tigers McDonald's Player of the Game presented by the Angus Third Pounder. Using your cell phone, text Tigers followed by a space, then the player's uniform number to 37338. Or you can go to foxsports.com, foxsportsdetroit.com, that is, and vote online. One away for Brennan Bosch. Bosch had a base hit as well in the first. No balls, one strike. Bosch did not score in that first inning, but he has scored 45 times this year, which is already 6th in the American League. So you talk about solidifying that 3 spot, not only getting on base, but giving guys behind him a chance to drive in runs. And for his size, he runs really well. Breaking ball, got him. Beauty on the outer edge. That is the first Talbot strikeout of the game.
That ball had a lot of break to it. Talbot throws his breaking ball at different speeds, different breaks. Brennan gave up on that ball. It started at least a foot off the plate and ended up right on the corner. Really good pitch by Talbot. And a nice frame job by Santana, the catcher, holding it there for DJ Rayburn to make that call.
Here's Cabrera. Bang that one off his foot. And Cabrera will do the foul ball dance. That one apparently got him pretty good.
You don't see Miguel do this very often. You see a lot of guys that hit balls off their feet quite often, instep quite often, but very seldom do you see Cabrera hit balls off his foot like that. And the reason for that is the path that he takes when taking his swing is inside out approach, not one that gets around the baseball, which would lead to guys hitting the ball directly down at their feet. He's more up the middle, more the other way.
One ball, one strike. Cabby hit a ball, by the way, that was changed in scoring last night. It was originally called an error of third baseman Jack Hanahan as part of that 3-run first. They changed it to a base hit at the end of the game, or after the game ended. Swing and a miss, 1-2, which affected the earned run total for Fausto Carmona. They all became earned in that first inning. 1-2 on Cabrera.
Carmona wasn't at his best yesterday, but he stayed around long enough to get the win. Their bullpen was tremendous.
And the 2-2. Well, the Indians bullpen has been tremendous all year. I think they're still third in the league, aren't they?
I believe so. I read that earlier today.
Yep, only New York and Oakland have better bullpen ERAs. Three-two pitch, and he walked him.
Hey fans, 16 greatest moments in MLB All-Star Game history are going head-to-head to determine which is the most memorable of all time. Go to MLB.com/moments and vote now for your favorite Midsummer Classic. And tune in to the 2011 MLB All-Star Game on Tuesday, July 12th at 8 p.m. Eastern on Fox to find out who the winner is.
So here is Victor Martinez, who's batting after a 2-out walk to Miguel Cabrera. And look at the numbers now. Oh, my goodness. After a Cabrera walk, 450.
he has done a lot of positive things in that batter's box this year for the Tigers. Lots of positive numbers, not the power numbers that you would expect from Victor, but a lot of other really good numbers. 2-strike hitting, hitting behind Cabrera, starting off innings, different things like that. Started switch hitting when he was 8 years old, so he's pretty much perfected both sides of the dish.
So Talbot stays away again. 2 balls, no strikes. Victor had a sac fly and a ball that he hit really hard back in the first inning, driving in a run. That tied the ball game at 2-2 at that point. And that's where we stand right now as we play in the bottom of the third. Bouncing ball right to the first baseman, Laporta, and that will end the inning. Tigers get a 2-out walk, leave a man. We go to the fourth. Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by AT&T and by Milo's Kitchen home-style dog treats. The best treats come from the kitchen. Back here in the Motor Cities, the Tigers and the Cleveland Indians continue their 3-game series. Actually, they wrap it up here today, and it's a 2-2 tie as we go to the 4th inning. And Max Scherzer goes back to work. He has retired the last 7 straight that he's faced. Asdrubal Cabrera leads it off. He doubled and scored in the first. And he looks at ball 1 up high. One ball, 1 strike. Shot to left field, slicing, but Bosch gets over there. Make it 8 straight retired now by Scherzer. How about the AT&T trivia question today? Scherzer and Verlander are one of 3 sets of teammates with 8 or more wins each. Can you name the other pair? This season right now, Scherzer and Verlander have each won 8 games. They're one of 3 sets. We need the other 2 sets. There's ball 1 outside to Shin-Soo Choo.
Nice 1-2 combination. Verlander, Scherzer, 16 wins between them.
Should we give him a hint?
Yes, you should give them a hint because there's only a couple of other guys, so it's not that rare a thing.
They are both National League sets. So think National League pitchers. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Shin-Soo Choo.
It's okay to think National League. We'll be a National League club in a day.
Oh, we'll be playing a National League club in a day.
We'll be one, pretty much.
Well, yeah, you're right. That's true. I thought you had us changing leagues all of a sudden.
No DH. Pitcher will be hitting. National League rules. I'm looking forward to seeing Tulowitzki, one of the best players in the National League.
Here's the 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Or Tulo, as so many people call him.
That's right.
Why haven't we called Victor Martinez V-Mart this year?
I don't know.
Is that by design on your part?
No, well, no, I just haven't thought about it. You want me to start calling him that?
No, I'm just wondering.
Okay.
Because I haven't either, really. But I know a lot of people do.
Well, we call Cabby.
We do.
What are some of the other ones we use? Speaking of Cabby, climbing a ladder here.
A little elevation here. Just a little bit.
Orlando Cabrera has been called O-Cab. V-Mart would fit. I don't know.
I mean, there's just some popular guys like Gonzalez in Boston. Everybody calls him Agon. And
right.
I mentioned Tulo, Cargo. And V-Mart's another name that a lot of people use that way, but we really haven't gotten into that. Nor will I.
Well, we have Furbush in Albuquerque, known as Furbuquerque.
Now, we haven't dropped that on the air yet.
Well,
until now.
We did once in the bullpen, and then it just died quickly. We may have to bring that one back. 1-1 on Laporta. When Zamaya and Verlander came up in 06, they were Zoolander. But see, now we're starting to combine guys, and so that's not what you're talking about.
Yeah. I like that last pitch by Scherzer to Laporta. If he makes that same exact pitch, he'll get a swing and miss. That one was a little bit further inside than Avila wanted it. Take a look at where Avila's setting up here. He's setting up outside, and Scherzer missed with the pitch right over the heart of the plate.
Two and 2 on Matt Laporta. Grounded to third base, right at Don Kelly. Laporta is going to be safe. He eluded the tag on the wide throw. Diving in head first. An error on Kelly.
It's really one of the few times that as a base running coach you can tolerate a big guy like Laporta sliding in head first when he's trying to avoid contact, which is clearly what he's trying to do. Had he continued to run straight through the base, there would have been a collision there with Cabrera, so he wisely slid to not only avoid the tag but avoid collision and contact.
Here's Travis Buck. On the ground to second base. Rayburn gobbles this one up. And so no damage done by the air. No runs, no hits, 1 left. 3.5 in the books. 2-2.
Well, fans, with summer approaching, let me remind you that you can have a picnic or a party at an upcoming Tigers game. Group tickets and party suites are on sale now, with groups of 15 or more receiving discount tickets to select games. Call 313-471-BALL or visit tigers.com.
Tremendous seats for those little guys enjoying Tiger baseball today. 2-2 game as we go to the bottom of the fourth, and Maglio leads it off.
Maglio has had some nice plate appearances since coming back from the disabled list, but very little to show for it. He has just one hit. His last time up, he lined out sharply to Cabrera, the shortstop, and Bosch was doubled off on the play.
One ball and 2 strikes on Ordonez.
I don't know for sure, but I think Ordonez still has some good baseball left in his body. And Jim is going to give him an opportunity to show that he has some baseball left in his body at age 37.
I agree. I think he's in great shape physically. Obviously, we don't know how to put a percentage on his ankle right now, but I think you're right. I think he can still hit, but he's certainly going to have to do it. Waving a miss. They got him that time. One gone. Second strikeout for Talbot. Boy, it looked like it was going to be a short day for Talbot in the first inning, but he has since righted the ship.
It kind of looked that way for Carmona as well last night, Cleveland starter. They looked like they were going to knock him out of the game very early.
Avila had a base hit back in the second. Now the outside corner, strike one on Alex. So Avila's average now has jumped up to 307.
Jim Leland has a couple of guys batting 7th and 8th respectively in his batting order that has a legitimate chance of making an all-star team this year.
It's pretty impressive how deep this lineup has been when you consider Avila has knocked in 38. Peralta has knocked in 34. They're batting 7th and 8th in this one.
They would be batting 2nd and 3rd, 3rd and 4th on a lot of clubs. They most definitely would be batting a little bit higher. But then again, maybe that's one of the reasons why they're having success this year.
Yeah, I think it may be. And Leland has avoided the temptation of moving both Avila and Peralta up in the lineup. There is something to be said, I guess, for a pair of guys at the bottom that can turn the lineup over. Really, when you think about it, Jackson coming on now and Bosch coming on, really, you're not going to move those two guys.
And we can't ask Jim either.
No, don't ask about the lineup.
I mean, you can ask him just about any question that you want to ask him, and he will answer it. But he doesn't like you to ask questions about his lineup.
Avila last year, in his first full season in the major leagues, hit .228. Right now he's batting .307. Back out of play. He's already established a career high in homers. He hit 7 last year and has 9 this season. Do you see him as a guy that is a 20 homer guy every year?
Yes, I believe he can hit 20 home runs a year.
Certainly on that pace right now. Did he go? Yep. A couple of strikeouts now for Talbot. 3 total for the game.
Good call by Brian Runge, third base umpire. DJ Rayburn, home plate umpire. I think he believed that Avila win as well, but he gave Alex the courtesy check with the third base umpire.
Here's Johnny Peralta. Johnny flied out to right field back in the second. Talbot has not had a 1-2-3 inning. High fly ball left field, hit well, going to the corner is Buck to the wall, leaps, can't get it, it's gone. There's some of that power at the bottom of the lineup. Peralta's hit another one, his 10th. 3-2 Tigers.
That's a breaking ball that didn't quite get to the area where Talbot wanted it. And Johnny Peralta was able to reach out and still got it right on the outer edges of the bat, but enough to hit it into that Tigers bullpen.
Rayburn looking like he wanted to drop down a bunt. Strike one.
Anything Rayburn can do these days to jumpstart himself is a bonus. Whether it's bunting with 2 outs, which is usually not a good thing to do unless you have the ability to steal a base.
Tigers now have 5 hits. They've taken a 3-2 lead. Now the home run by Peralta, his 10th, his 35th RBI as well. August 15th of last year is when Johnny Peralta hit his 10th home run of the season.
He is clearly off to, numbers wise, the best year he's had in his career.
The 1-2. High towering fly ball to left. He may have got this one as well, and we've got back-to-back homers. First Peralta and now Rayburn. Number 6 for Ryan.
Both Peralta and also Rayburn, identical pitches, little breaking balls that stayed up long enough for them to get underneath them. And with a little bit of wind blowing toward left field here today, both balls carried out of here.
Rayburn's first home run since June 5th when he hit the grand slam in Chicago. That makes it 4-2.
It's Ryan Rayburn's first home run here at home since April 22nd.
1-1 to Jackson. Last time the Tigers went back-to-back against the Boston Red Sox on May 19th. That was at Fenway. That's headed to right field. Chu coming into foul ground, sliding, can't get it. But Chu is playing right on the line there.
I thought he was going to make that play, and by where he started out at against Austin.
The last back-to-back homers were Bosch and Cabrera against Bard in Boston. High, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Boy, Chu really is hugging that right field line against Austin Jackson. There is a mile and a half between Chu and the center fielder, Brantley. Line drive to right field, and Chu leaps and makes the catch. He had him played right where he had to.
Took an extra base hit away from him by where he was playing.
Back-to-back homers, though. Peralta, Rayburn. Tigers have the lead. to you by Bell Tire. Get the lowest tire price, period. Bell Tire. And by Nissan's National Tent Event. Big Tent, tremendous savings. Visit ChooseNissan.com or your local dealer. Scherzer goes back to work, and he has a lead to work with for the first time this afternoon. 4-2 in favor of the Tigers.
Very important for Max to shut down the Cleveland Indians here in the top half of the fifth without them scoring a run.
Cord Phelps is leading it off. Popped up, shallow center. And Jackson is there. Phelps is out. One away. Well, he had time to think about the AT&T trivia question. Scherzer and Verlander, one of 3 sets of teammates with 8 or more wins each. Can you name the other 2 pair? Halladay and Hamels out there in Philadelphia, and Tommy Hansen's and Jair Jurgens.
Good question today. Halladay and Hamels, they have 9 victories.
And Hamels is really pitching well.
He had to leave a game yesterday, or his last start was some kind of a
2 days ago.
Yeah, injury. I don't know. I don't think it's major, but he had to leave his start.
Adam Everett, the batter.
I don't know if Adam is entertaining the thought of doing so here, but he likes to bunt for a base hit down toward third base. Don Kelly, having been his teammate, should know that.
And that's a fair ball. Just inside the line. Everett will go to second base, and he is in with a 1-out double.
That time he whistles a double past Don Kelly.
Fourth hit given up by Scherzer.
Adam Everett got himself in a pretty good hitter's count. It's 2-0 count, fastball count. And that's when you can get out in front of a fastball when you know it's coming.
Scherzer had retired 10 of the previous 11 batters prior to that 2-base hit. Sizemore is 0 for 2.
Grady Sizemore's been striking out a lot more than I ever remember him striking out. But I guess that's what happens, though, if you pretty much missed the last 2 years of baseball, and that's what has happened to him with the injuries. He's pretty much been off for a couple years.
Microfracture surgery last year in June.
Then he had an elbow surgery the year before that. Got a lot of padding on that knee, that left knee. Wow, what a thick pad that is.
The 0-1. That microfracture surgery has become really popular in the NBA. A lot of NBA players have had it. Tracy McGrady, Jason Kidd, Chris Webber.
Isn't that exactly what Carlos Guillen had as well last year?
It is. Yep. There's the 1-1. I heard that all the way up here. So the tying runs are on now for Cleveland. Two on, 1 out. Here comes Santana.
Well, you might want to throw this guy an off-speed pitch, at least on the very first pitch of this sequence. He's got a lot of power, and you can get him out with off-speed pitches.
One on Santana today in the ball game. Fly ball and a ground out, which makes him 2 for his last 22. Well, he's got a big swing, and he's behind in the count 0-2.
Well, Santana took the very first pitch, was the fastball. It was 91 miles an hour. It was right down the middle. And then he gives you that wild swing on the second pitch, which was an off-speed pitch that wasn't a strike. Now you have a couple of pitches to play with if you're Scherzer, as far as seeing if you could get Santana to chase strike three.
Missed it away. Fastball at 97.
That pretty much best fastball of the day.
One and two on Santana. Brantley would be next. Only one out, 2 men on. Tigers lead 4-2 in the fifth. And the 1-2. Swing and a miss. Santana is out of there.
You can't throw a better fastball than that. 95 miles an hour at the knees. Well located piece of cheese there. That ball was by Santana before he started his swing.
Scherzer has his third strikeout for the afternoon. That'll leave it up to Michael Brantley. And he looks at ball one. Brantley had a triple, scored a run. He was back in the first inning. Fouls that one off of Avila. 1 ball, 1 strike. We're talking about Michael and his dad Mickey, who played in the big leagues, and Michael was saying one of his best memories of tagging along with his dad was actually the bus rides in the minor leagues. Now players obviously hate those because some of them can be extremely long. But for Michael, he said it gave me an opportunity to spend some time with my dad because he was away so much that he would actually look forward to some of those bus rides. Here's the 1-1. And you can get some of those bus rides right in the Texas League that are like 12-hour rides. Not much fun.
Take a long time. And if the air conditioning happens to go out, it can be a really long trip.
It might as well be 24 hours. 2-1. Now make it 2-2 on Brantley. Ever been on a minor league bus ride where the bus breaks down?
Several times.
Really?
Several times.
You ever have to push?
Never. Never had to push. And I'm talking about bus breaking down in Mexico.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Where it's really dark outside. And you don't know what's around you. I'm serious.
Hunker down and wait for help?
I'm serious.
You don't know
in the middle of nowhere.
Two and two.
Oh, the memories.
That's fouled back out of play. I remember broadcasting in the Midwest League. Our bus broke down between Davenport, Iowa and Clinton, Iowa, which is not a long distance, but it doesn't matter. When your bus breaks down, it breaks down. And they had everybody get out and start pushing the bus. Now, pushing the bus is not the easiest thing to do, even with 30 guys. But it's one of those things.
What were they trying to do? Were they trying to jump start it?
I don't know what they were trying to do. They just said, broadcaster, get out there and push. And I jumped. I don't know what they were trying to do. Get into a gas station or something? I don't know. Scherzer's 2-2 pitch is fouled off again.
Scherzer needs to find that pitch right now to put Brantley away. And Brantley's batting third for Manny Acta because he has had and has been one of the better and more consistent hitters he's had this year. And he is giving Manny a really good at bat here against Scherzer. Manny Acta spent about 8 years managing an A ball before even getting a chance to go to the next level. The next level.
He's got some bus ride stories.
8 years in A ball.
And again, the 2-2. Ground ball to second. We'll finally get Brantley. Rayburn throws him out, inning over. You're watching Tigers baseball here this afternoon, presented by Bell Tire.
On the board in the very first inning, Jackson walked, stole second. He came home to score on a bloop single by Kelly, followed by a base hit by Bosch and also Cabrera. Sacrifice fly by Martinez. That's how they scored in the very first inning. And then they played long ball. This was just last half inning. It was a solo shot by Johnny Peralta, followed up by a shot by Ryan Rayburn.
Meanwhile, Don Kelly starting things off here in the fifth. The Tigers holding on to a 4-2 lead. They've out-hit the Indians 6-4 in this game.
They played some small ball in the first inning to score a couple of runs, and then a couple of big flies in the fourth inning.
Kelly, Bosch, and Cabrera here in the fifth. RBI single and 2 at-bats for Don Kelly. Here is Talbot's 1-2 pitch. Missed it inside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two, 3, and 4 in Jim Leland's lineup this afternoon. Kelly waits on a 2-2. Right back up the middle into center field.
The Tigers really have not hit the fastball of Talbot's all that effectively today. But breaking balls, they have been able to put those balls in play, and they've done most of their damage today against his breaking ball. That was a base hit up the middle on a breaking ball by Don Kelly.
And he's 2 for 3. Bring up Bosch. 1 for 2 today for Brennan. Singled but did not score back in the first inning. Seven Tigers hits on the board now. Strike called on Bosch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tigers have Rick Porcello tomorrow in that first game against Colorado. 3 games in Denver, 3 coming up in Los Angeles. This light rain starting to fall now here at the ballpark. There's some rain in the area. The 1-1. Line foul. We had a late rain falling in last night's ball game as well, so this will scatter some of the paying customers.
The ones that didn't come prepared.
They're not happy right now. Or they're moving to drier land. Bouncing ball left side. It finds a seam. That's a base hit. First 2 Tigers reach here in the 5th.
Hey fans, when the game ends, our coverage continues with Tigers Live as we bring you all the highlights, reaction, and analysis. Tigers Live from the Carl Sam Studios. And here at the ballpark immediately after the game on Fox Sports Detroit.
Well, they get on the telephone now. Tim Belcher is in contact with his bullpen. Tigers looking to extend their lead. They're up by 2. They have 2 on, nobody out for Cabrera. A single and a walk in this game. And he looks at ball 1 high.
Cabrera is batting .431 this year with runners in scoring position. But he also is in scoring position himself, standing in that batter's box.
Miguel is zeroing in on a milestone. He is 25 hits shy of 1,500 for his career as Frank Herman begins to tune up in the Cleveland pen. And now Tim Belcher coming out as Talbot falls behind. Miguel Cabrera 2-0. Well, be a hero for babies by supporting the March of Dimes with Farmers Insurance now through June 29th. Text HERO to 20222 to make a $5 donation or visit your local Farmers agent at farmers.com.
Very lengthy visit by Tim Belcher, the pitching coach, along with Santana and Talbot, the pitcher. Not so much to talk about how to approach Cabrera, but to give the reliever a little bit of extra time in the bullpen to throw a few more pitches just in case this inning gets away from Talbot. They want to be ready.
We'll get back out of play. 2-1 on Miguel.
Cabrera got what appeared to be a cut fastball, hanging breaking ball, but he got a really good swing at it, and he just missed it. Oh my goodness. Just a breaking ball that wasn't really doing a whole lot. Right down the middle. Goes to show you can make a bad pitch and get away with it sometimes.
Absolutely. That's back up the middle into center, base hit. Kelly rounding third. He'll score. And Cabrera gets an RBI.
Well, the .431 batting average with Cabrera with runners in scoring position just went up a tick. It looked like on the very first pitch, the 2-0 breaking ball, he was trying to hit the gaps. And then with the 2-1 count, he's simply taking a base hit here. That ball's down, not trying to do a whole lot with it, right back through the box. and he gets rewarded with a base hit and a ribby.
How about the Tigers? 2, 3, 4 hitters now 6 for 8 today. Another RBI for Miguel, 47 on the year. Still nobody out. And that's going to be it. Manny Acta has signaled to the bullpen. So Talbot is able to face 3 batters here in the 5th, and he is bounced out of this game. Frank Herman will come in. And we have a wall-side windows pitching change in the 5th. Tigers up 5-2. We'll be back. Game here 5-2 in favor of the Tigers. They're still in business to get more. 4+ innings, 9 hits, 5 runs against Talbot. He is responsible for runners at first and second. Nobody out here in the 5th. And he will give way to the right-handed reliever, Frank Herman.
Herman has been in 12 games this year for Manny Acta, and the numbers aren't all that glamorous. The earned run average a shade below 6.5, and the opponents are hitting .329 against Frank.
Herman's had 4 separate stints with the Indians already this year. And he will face Victor Martinez with 2 men on and a run in. Singles by Kelly, Bosch, and Cabrera have scored a run. 9 Tigers hits. Driven to center field. That's going to drop. Base hit. Bosch streaking around third base. He'll score. Martinez wasting little time, and it's 6-2.
That's good base running by Brennan Bosch. On second base, he knew exactly where Brantley was playing in center field. Therefore, when that ball was hit, there was small hesitation, but not much, and then able to score rather easily without a play.
And that's an even 10 hits now for Detroit. 4 straight hits here in the 5th inning. 6-2 in favor of the Tigers. Here comes Ordonez. Maglio hits a ground ball slowly back up the middle. Cabrera will flip backwards to second. 1, and they almost got 2. First and third, 1 out. Cabrera moves up. Going to bring up Alex Avila. Single back in the second for Avila, 1 for 2.
Avila really hasn't panicked in these types of situations this year. He seems to always get himself a pretty good pitch to hit. He's patient, and that's part of the process. 11 of 15 of driving that runner in from third with less than 2 outs. Most young players aren't that good at these types of situations because they put too much pressure on themselves. Instead of them believing that the pitcher is on the ropes, they tend to panic and they tend to be more aggressive than they should be. Alex hasn't had that problem.
For the most part, he's found a way to put the ball in play. And you saw the percentage and how good that was.
I don't know for sure, but it looks like Herman's kind of like pitching around him. Counts now 3-0. If he does throw a fastball here, Jim may as well let Alex swing the bat. Get yourself a free swing at a fastball.
So 4 straight pitches missed the strike zone. That's a walk. He's going to load the bases now for Johnny Peralta. Johnny homered in his last at bat. He's had a couple of grand slams in his career.
Yeah, these are the very situations that Jim went into spring training this year saying his team really had to improve on and be better than they were in 2010. Runner on third, less than 2 outs. He talked about their road numbers. He talked about playing within the division. And he also said we have to drive in the runs when we get a runner on third base less than 2 outs. They've pretty much gotten better in all those areas.
Yeah, by and large, they've been really good.
Good against the Central. No one's been better in the division. The road numbers are getting better, and they're driving in some runs from third.
Way inside. 1 ball, 1 strike on Peralta.
95. Herman's got a good arm.
Every Tiger now has reached base in this game. Peralta really trying to break this one open. Swing and a miss. Herman made his big league debut last year, pitched 40 games out of the bullpen for the Indians. And the 1-2. Ground ball to third. Scooped there nicely by Everett to second one. And that's a huge double play for Cleveland. It's 5-4-3. It minimizes the damage. But the Tigers get 2 more. And we'll go to the 6th.
Hey fans, prior to Sunday, June 26th game against the Diamondbacks, former Tigers manager Sparky Anderson's number 11 will be retired. In a special pregame ceremony beginning at 12:45, all fans receive a commemorative canvas print. For tickets, call 866-66-TIGER or visit tigers.com.
Well, we have a defensive replacement now for the Tigers. Maglio is out of the game, and Casper Wells will take over as we go to the 6th inning. He'll play in right field. Tigers have added 2 more. They lead by 4, 6-2. Heather Nabosny came out between innings and had a little chat with Tim McClelland. I'm assuming concerning some rain in the area. There's a strike called on Asdrubal Cabrera. We've had just a few sprinkles today, but there's some wet stuff lurking around Metro Detroit. The 0-1. Scherzer quickly ahead. Max has fanned 3 in this game and has not given up a run since allowing 2 in the first. Wave and a miss, and he chews up Asdrubal Cabrera. Victor will throw down, completing the strikeout.
That's pitching. First pitch fastball, then he threw him a breaking ball, backdoor variety, and then he slowed the last breaking ball all the way down to 81. 3 different pitches, 3 different speeds. Nice job.
Shin-Soo Choo tripled and knocked in a run back in the first, 1 for 2. Ball 1 from Scherzer.
Choo getting hot in this series because he's been hitting in counts like these the last 2 days. Fastball counts.
And the 2-0. 3-0 on Shin-Soo Choo. .33 assists the last 3 years for Cleveland as a defender out there in right field, and he takes a strike, 3-1. Scherzer working quickly. The 3-1 pitch is a strike call. 3-2 on Choo. Full count pitch. Walked him. 1 on 1 out. Game break time. We go back to the studio. Here's Ryan Field. All right, Ryan, thanks. Here it is 6-2 in favor of the Tigers. Scherzer has just walked his first batter of the game. Here's Matt Laporta. And he takes ball 1.
If you're Scherzer, you don't want to forget about the base runner. He's got some decent speed. That would be Choo. You want to keep your double play in order with Laporta standing in the batter's box.
Rick Knapp on the telephone now. In touch with the Tigers bullpen. And he hit him.
He didn't even try to get out of the way.
Not 1 ounce. He just stood there.
He didn't even try to get out of the way.
Recognized breaking ball and didn't move.
No effort whatsoever. Rick Knapp is out there doing exactly what Tim Belcher did last half inning. They've got someone up in the bullpen, so he's out there having a lengthy conversation with Scherzer and Martinez.
Schlereth is the lefty. Albuquerque is the righty. Now Travis Buck with 2 men on. Indians trying to get back into this game. Buck is 0 for 2. Fly ball and a ground out. Ball 1. Buck is now 0 for his last 18 at bats. A former Oakland Athletic. They signed him to a minor league contract, gave him a spring training invite. He spent parts of the last 5 years with the A's. Now it's 2-0. So after striking out Asdrubal Cabrera, trouble here for Scherzer, a walk and a hit batter. That'll get back out of play. 2-1. And Buck given time at home plate. The wind is really starting to pick up now here at the ballpark. Two and two. Buck played his college ball at Arizona State, was a 2-time All Pac-10 selection in 04 and 05, had a big career there. That's popped up. Right side of the infield. Cabrera waiting. Infield fly rule. So the batter is automatically out. 2 gone. And that'll bring up Cord Phelps here with 2 away. Phelps 0 for 2 and now 1 for 16 in his first go round here in the big leagues. Playing second base for the Indians. Good block by Martinez, holding the runners. 1-0. Chu reaching on a walk. Laporta hit by a pitch. Scherzer trying to pitch out of trouble here in the 6th. Scherzer's season high in pitches is 113. He's at 108 right now. Another good pickup by Victor, this time on a backhand.
One thing Max has gotten just about every time that he has taken the mound for his club, he's gotten lots of run support. No different today. They've scored 6 runs for Max. There's always one guy on the staff that gets lots of runs when he starts, and there's always one guy on the staff that isn't as fortunate.
Here's the 2-0. And it's low. 3 balls, no strikes. Boy, it's really starting to get windy now. I mean, the wind is howling. Rain in the area. To Phelps, and he lost him, so Scherzer may not get through the 6th inning here. The bases are loaded. Everett coming up, the number 9 hitter, and so is the skipper. He's coming out. Jim Leland will make a change. 2 walks and a hit batter in the inning, and Leland will go to the bullpen. Albuquerque will be summoned in. And Scherzer will depart the scene. He will leave with a 6-2 lead, but the bases are loaded and they're all his responsibility. And we step aside. Another pitching change here in Comerica. We'll be back. Max Scherzer out of the game. He will leave with bases loaded here and 2 outs in the 6th inning. 5 2/3 for Max. 4 hits and 2 runs.
Well, one good thing about this situation, if you're Max and you've left 3 runners out there for Albuquerque, is the fact that most of the base runners he's inherited this year, they have all been left stranded.
22nd appearance of the year for Albuquerque. Adam Everett, the number 9 hitter, will stand in with the bases loaded. 0-1 on Everett. Double and a strikeout in this game for the former Tiger. 0-83 this year with men in scoring position for Everett. Fly ball right field. Wells backing up. Inning over. Albuquerque comes on and gets the out, helping his buddy Scherzer out in the process.
Coors Light 6th inning, and now it's time for the Coors Light Freeze Cam. 4 strikeouts for Scherzer in the game, and we're going to show you the location of all 4 of those strikeouts. The first one was a slider. This is the change piece. Real good firm fastball in the mid-90s to get Santana, followed up by another really good breaking ball at the bottom of the strike zone. Nice job by Max Scherzer. Coors Light Freeze Cam always brought to you by your frost brewed Coors Light.
So as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning, Tigers on top 6-2 in this one. And Ryan Rayburn leads it off. Rayburn and then Jackson and then Kelly.
Big home run for Ryan Rayburn. The last time he was up, got himself a little breaking ball that was up and outside, and he was able to pull it back to left field, and he found the seats right over the Tigers bullpen.
6th home run of the year for Rayburn. He rolls this one foul third base side. Frank Herman came on to close out the 5th inning. Needed a double play to end the threat. Tigers had the bases loaded, got Peralta to hit into a double play, and the Tigers settled for 2 runs. One and two.
Herman's got a really heavy sinker, and it's firm. Velocity at 94 miles an hour.
And he has a really interesting background as well. He went to Harvard.
Really?
An economics degree from Harvard, and was also the 3rd string quarterback on the Harvard football team. Rayburn rolls it foul. 1 and 2 on Ryan. Rayburn and then Jackson and then Kelly. 10 hits for Detroit in this game. Two and two. Fill it now. 3 and 2 on Ryan Rayburn. The Tigers win here today, and they reclaim 1st place in the Central. And we go up by a game. Right now, the Indians percentage point ahead of the Tigers, technically in 1st place over Detroit. And Chicago 4.5 back, playing Minnesota again today. And the 3-2. High drive into left field. This one's not going to have enough, though. It'll go to the warning track, but that's it. Rayburn is out, 1 gone.
Hey fans, tomorrow don't miss our brand new edition of Tigers Weekly as our crew tagged along for a behind the scenes access during the recent road trip to Chicago. It's Tigers Weekly on the road, premiering tomorrow at 6 p.m. and again at 7:30 here on Fox Sports Detroit.
Jackson coming up.
Beat him. Looked like he had a nice little cab ride to the ballpark with John Keating.
Ooh, look out. Up and in on Jackson. That cab ride from the hotel in Chicago to U.S. Cellular Field, there's nothing little about that. It's a long ride.
Yeah, it can be lengthy, and then you add in some traffic, and it could take a while to get there.
1-0. Jackson foul tips it. 1 ball, 1 strike on Austin. Walked, stole a base, scored in the 1st, otherwise 0 for 2. Tigers will have an off day after the next road trip, and that'll be their final off day again before another long stretch. That's a good pitch on the outer edge. 1-2. Oh, he went around, said home plate umpire DJ Rayburn. 2 gone. Herman has his first strikeout. He'll bring up Don Kelly.
And DJ Rayburn, home plate umpire, didn't need any help from Ted Barrett, who was down at first base today.
Nice day for Kelly. 2 for 3. Scored a couple of times, driven one in. Oh, 1 on Don. Our best crowd of this series here this afternoon, 37,437 jamming into the ballpark today in the series finale.
Day game. Wow.
Pretty impressive crowd. Like he went around, and he did. 0-2. Kelly trying to keep it going for Bosch. Herman came on in the 5th inning. Talbot started, could not get through 5 today for the Tribe. Fouled straight back. Two balls, 2 strikes. Tigers coming into play today had 37 victories on the season. Only Boston and New York had more. Boston 40 wins and the Yankees 38 wins, and then right there are the Tigers. And it's the final. Minnesota beat Chicago again, so the Twins win it 1-0. Driven toward left center. Buck is there, and it's a 1-2-3 inning. No runs, no hits, nobody left. On our way to the 7th.
At Bat 11 app for your iPhone, iPad, Android, or BlackBerry. Get live audio pitch-by-pitch tracking, video highlights, and more. Text at bat to 31826 or visit Tigers.com.
So we go to the 7th inning here in Detroit, and the Tigers on top over the Indians 6-2. Al Albuquerque back to the hill. Danny Wirth will take over at second base in place of Brian Rayburn. Albuquerque bounces one in to Grady Sizemore. Top of the lineup, Sizemore, Santana, and Brantley here in the 7th.
Albuquerque has a couple of different sliders. That's the pitch that he has racked up 37 strikeouts with this year. Unbelievable pitch. One is just a little get-me-over slider that he'll use early in counts. And then he's got that really nasty slider, the one that has a really nice bite to it to the left-handers and the right-handers, and that's the one that gets lots of swings and misses. And he holds them two different ways as well.
Way inside, and now he has gone 3-0 on Sizemore.
It's amazing what these guys at this level can get the baseball to do just by adding and subtracting pressure with some of the finger points and how they hold the baseball when delivering it toward home plate.
And you wonder how some of these grips come about by guys just kind of messing around on the field and you know, throwing, playing catch and just holding the baseball differently and different grips.
That's exactly how guys say they get comfortable with one pitch or another one.
3-1 on Sizemore. Broke his bat, popped it up right to Albuquerque. Ooh, a little flash there. You better not drop that ball. That if Albuquerque drops that ball, that would not have been good.
That's exactly what Victor Martinez is saying to him right now. He's a leader out there. Good leader. Letting Albuquerque know that's unacceptable. It's a one-sided conversation. Jim was talking about Victor Martinez a couple of days ago in his office, and he said he knew Victor Martinez was a very good player, a very good hitter. But he did not know he had the leadership skills in the clubhouse that he possesses. It's always nice as a manager if you have a few players on your team that can police the clubhouse for you so you don't have to do so. You got enough to worry about.
And Victor can back it up with what he's accomplished in this game. 1 ball and no strikes on Carlos Santana. Rolls that one foul. Santana is 0 for 3. Fly ball, ground out, strikeout. The 1-1. 1-2 on Santana.
There's that slider.
Swing and a miss. And again, Victor will throw down to first base, and Santana is out of there. 2 gone. First strikeout for Albuquerque.
That slider. And when you talk to the opposing hitters, they will tell you it looks just like a fastball coming out of Albuquerque's hand because he throws 97. You have to respect that. And then all of a sudden, once it gets about 5 feet from home plate, take a look here. About 5 feet from home plate, all of a sudden the bottom just falls out of it. He missed that by about 6 or 7 feet.
And you know, it's almost like a trick pitch because when you think of the conventional slider, you think of more east to west movement as opposed to north and south.
That's a great point. And we also showed a really nice glimpse of how Albuquerque holds his slider. He holds his slider with his index finger and his middle finger kind of spread apart, where most guys have those 2 fingers touching and making contact when throwing their slider. His is almost like a fork ball.
The 2-0. 3-0 on Michael Brantley.
Here's that grip right here. You can see the fingers that are spread apart. He's holding it across the seams. Most guys do not hold their slider like that. The thumb is almost off the baseball. But it works for him.
Boy, does it. Striking out batters really at an alarming rate. This is coming up to the big leagues from AAA. And that's roped to first base. Cabrera goes down to knock it down and safe at first.
Almost a great play by Danny Worth. That ball undressed the big fella. I mean, Brantley absolutely undressed him. Self-defense on Cabrera's part. He was able to knock it down and slow it down. Albuquerque didn't hesitate leaving the mound, and Worth grabbed it and he gave it to him, and they almost got him.
Two-out base runner here in the 7th. Rain starting to fall again now at the ballpark. Here's Asdrubal Cabrera. And he looks at ball 1. Albuquerque came on in the 6th inning, got the final out. They loaded the bases. He got Everett to fly out to right. Now a 2-out single here in the 7th. Wave and a miss. 1 ball and 1 strike on Asdrubal Cabrera. He's got a double in this game today, a double for 3. Cabrera had a huge month of May in which he hit .330. Has slowed a tad in this series. 2 for 11. Runner goes. Here comes a throw from Martinez, bouncing in, and a stolen base for Brantley.
Nothing really Martinez could do there. Even though the Indians are down by 4 runs, basically Manny Acta gave the green light to Brantley because he felt like Albuquerque had forgotten all about him, and he did.
Nine steals now for Brantley. 2 balls, 2 strikes on Cabrera. Albuquerque striking out almost 16 per 9 innings. That's his rate. Swing and a miss. He's gotten another one today, his 2nd of the game. And that's all for Cleveland here in the 7th. No runs, a hit, 1 left. Stretch time.
And Mr. Santana, who was catching today, we're going to show you his at-bat against Scherzer, which ended in a strikeout. It was a fastball right down the middle at 95. But one thing Santana continues to do when he gets a pitch to hit, a big swing, and then he's not really able to pick up the breaking balls, and that's pretty much been his problem all season long.
So the Tigers bat now in the bottom of the 7th, still leading 6-2. Bosch leads it off, and Cabrera, then Martinez. Steady rain falling now at the ballpark. And it's back up the middle, and how about Bosch? It's another hit.
Brennan, stop it.
It's his third hit of this ball game.
Take those singles until they give you something good to hit, then you play long ball.
Well, this July, baseball's biggest stars will gather together in the Arizona desert for one spectacular night of summer's biggest event, as Fox brings you the entire, or every, thrilling moment of the 2011 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday, July 12th, live from Phoenix, Arizona, 8 o'clock Eastern on your local Fox station. Miguel Cabrera stands in. Tigers now have 11 hits. Miguel has been on base 3 times, 2 singles, a walk, and an RBI. The 0-2. High fly ball hit a ton to center field. Brantley is back, still going back, makes the catch. A running play in right center field, robbing Miguel Cabrera. Cabby hit it a long way, but Brantley able to look through the raindrops and haul it in. First out of the inning.
A lot of real estate behind you. If you're Brantley, you got 420 behind you. He knew that, and he knew that if that ball stayed up long enough with the way the wind was blowing, that it would be pushed back toward him, and he was able to make a nice play in the outfield.
That'll bring up Victor Martinez. Ground ball to second. Should be 2. There's 1. Cabrera's relay is in time. The double play. You're watching Tigers baseball this afternoon on Fox Sports Detroit, presented by Bell Tire. Here's our Comerica game summary for this one. Tigers on top 6-2 as we play in the 8th inning. Peralta, Rayburn back-to-back homers in the 4th inning. Avila Martinez on this homestand awfully good. 14 RBIs between them, and they're hitting over 400. And with runners in scoring position today, Tigers have been much better than the Indians, and that's why they lead 6-2. Joaquin Benoit is your new pitcher.
And Joaquin Benoit has started to get it together this year after getting off to a very slow start. For the most part, the last 10 times he's gone out there, he's been pretty good. And as a whole, the bullpen has kind of stepped up and pitched some pretty good baseball. We just watched Albuquerque do his thing.
Shin-Soo Choo, the batter.
Albuquerque is amazing.
Andy Dirks has taken over in left field for Bosch. So the outfield now reads Dirks, Jackson, and Wells. Jim Leland has taken the opportunity in games in which he leads in the last couple of innings to bring in his better defenders. One. 2-2 on Shin-Soo Choo.
Pretty good change up there from Benoit, especially in that count. Shin-Soo Choo's got fat on fastballs in this series last couple of days.
That'll go foul, first base side. 2-2, the count stays on Choo. Shin-Soo tripled one in back in the first. The Indians raced out to a 2-0 lead in the first inning on this one, but it didn't take long for the Tigers to strike back. They got two in the bottom of the first. Cleveland has not scored since. Up to the Tigers bullpen in this one to hold on to Max Scherzer's 9th win of the year. Fouled off. Max would go to 9-2 if the bullpen finished this one off. So we'll see. Swing and a miss. Choo is gone. Benoit has his first strikeout. Seven strikeouts now for Tigers pitching in this one. Here's Matt Laporta. 0 for 2. Hit by pitch, reaching on an error as well. So he's been on base a couple of times. Bouncing ball back up the middle. Right at Johnny Peralta. Two up, two down. Here's Travis Buck. Albuquerque for an inning and a third in relief, and now Benoit here in the 8th. Two 2-0 on Buck. To shallow right field, the second baseman Worth to the grass, and that is that, a 1-2-3 inning for Joaquin Benoit. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is brought to you by Comerica Bank. Strength and stability since 1849. Wallside Windows. For a free in-home estimate, call 1-800-521-7800. And by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers, visit ChevyDetroit.com. See why Chevy drives the Motor City. Well, it's been kind of an odd day weather-wise. It was gorgeous earlier today. Rain moved in a little bit. Now it's cleared out a tad and cloudy here at the yard. But the good news is 6-2 Detroit as we go to the bottom of the 8th. And the new pitcher now is Joe Smith.
Joe has very good numbers this year. He comes in with 2 wins and 1 loss, pitching in his 23rd game with a really good earned run average. Opponent's batting average is not that bad. He's not a big strikeout guy, and more of a sinker slider. Gets lots of ground balls.
Casper Wells leads it off and rolls the first pitch foul. On the ground to third base. Nice easy hop for Adam Everett. And Wells is gone. 1 away. 5-3 on the putout. Rig of Alex Avila. Single and a walk for Alex. One and two on Avila. Smith following Herman in this game. Talbot started. And then it was bounced out in the 5th inning. Herman went 3 frames. Bouncing ball to second base. That'll be an easy play for Cord Phelps. And there are 2 gone. Couple of ground outs for the right-hander Smith.
One of the things the Indians have done very well all season long, and that's they've got some really nice contributions out of their bullpen. And this is where they rank in the American League in several categories. And make no mistake about it, if their bullpen continues to pitch like this, then they're going to be there at the end.
Johnny Peralta with 2 outs. Indians will have Phelps, Everett, and Sizemore when we get to the 9th inning. Shattered bat, look out. Cabrera, circus play down there at short, safe. The jagged edge of that bat, the barrel went flying over the dugout into the seats.
Wow, that was dangerous. Meanwhile, really nice range by Cabrera.
Here comes Danny Worth. Worth his first at bat after taking over defensively, batting .368 this year. On the ground, left side, under the glove of Everett, but Cabrera scoops, safe at first base. It's an infield hit, and it'll put 2 aboard. Tigers now have picked up 13 hits in this game, and once it got by Everett, going to be tough for Cabrera to throw him out.
Once he swiped at it, there was not going to be a play. Worth runs well.
We'll bring up Austin Jackson. The Tigers have out-hit the Indians 13-5, and they lead 6-2 here in the bottom of the 8th. Jackson in this one is 0 for 3, walking, stealing a base, and scoring a run way back in the first. It's the 8th time now the Tigers have had 13 or more hits in a game. They've had 11 singles and 2 homers. Jackson shoots one to right field. Chu coming on, and he won't get there in foul ground. Most hits in a game for the Tigers, 20 against Texas back on June 7th. Right back up the middle. Cabrera got a backhand, or barehand I should say, this one, and he throws him out in a nifty play to end the inning. No runs, 2 hits, and they leave a couple. We go to the 9th. Tigers looking for 3 more outs. Ryan, thank you. It is last call time now for the Cleveland Indians. The Tigers on top in this one is 6-2. And as Papa Grande warms up, it gives us an opportunity to check out some news and notes around the major leagues. Joe Mauer is returning tomorrow for the Minnesota Twins. That's going to be huge for them. And I guess the Angels decided we might as well just eat Scott Kazmir's money because they have parted ways.
He scuffled there. How about the Pittsburgh Pirates? First time they've been above 500 at this point in time in the season. You got to go all the way back to 1999.
So here is Jose Valverde to try and get the final 3 outs. This is not a save situation for Papa Grande. And Cord Phelps will be the first man that he faces. Ball outside to Phelps. He'll be followed by Everett and then Sizemore. Tigers 3 outs away from reclaiming first for themselves. Phelps in this one with a walk, a fly ball, and a ground out. Two balls, no strikes on Phelps. Only 5 hits allowed today by Tigers pitching. The Indians got 2 in the first inning, and they have not scored since. Scherzer started this one, trying to get his 9th win. A 4-pitch walk to start the 9th inning. Valverde didn't want to do that.
That's the second time they've walked Phelps in this game, who's off to a really slow start to his big league career.
Jim Leland alerting Don Kelly to come in a couple of steps in case Everett's thinking bunt. There's a strike, 0-1 on Adam Everett.
Jim knows that's part of Adam Everett's game. And he put that on display while he was wearing a Tigers uniform. Adam's a pretty good bunter, too. Had quite a few sacrifice bunts for the club. And he bunt for a base hit on occasion.
One ball, 1 strike on Everett. He's got a double today. He doubled back in the 5th. Way inside, 2-1.
For whatever reason, when Valverde comes in and it's not a save situation, his innings aren't as crisp as when the game's on the line. He's not the only closer that has that issue. And I'm sure if pitching coaches could figure it out, they'd figure it out.
In the air to center, Jackson cruising over. Here's the first out of the inning. And back to first base goes Phelps. Top of the order coming up now, Grady Sizemore. Grady 0 for 3, hit by a pitch. That's about it. It has not been a good series for Sizemore, just 1 for 11.
Grady might not be 100% healthy either. This is the second game in this series that he has been the DH. Manny Acta must be protecting that left knee.
Popped up. Shortstop. Peralta to the grass. 2 gone.
But you can understand why Sizemore is the franchise of that organization.
One more out to get. 37,000 plus to their feet now as the sun is trying to peek through the clouds. And Carlos Santana steps in. Fouled away 0-1. Tigers 1 out away from their 38th win of this season. They would go to 38-31. Heading to the West Coast for round 2 of interleague play. Colorado, then Los Angeles. Runner goes and no throw. It's a strike call. Phelps at second. Now 1 strike away. One and 2. The crowd oohing and eyeing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Tigers have some pretty good teams coming in for interleague play. Arizona coming here. San Francisco, the world champs. And the Mets will be in. Two balls, 2 strikes on Santana, trying to keep it going for Michael Brantley. Popped up foul, back out of play. This will get the seats. And Santana staying alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Strike 3. Santana caught looking. And the Tigers are back into first place. A 1-game lead for the Tigers over the Indians. 5.5 up on the White Sox. Whole lot more coming up from the ballpark. Tigers a winner today, 6-2.